glad that.
What's that?
Anyway, I want to email him to let him know to do a proclamation so that we can have it as designated as December 18th, Wreaths Across America Day. And so we all meet up at 10 o'clock, which Matt, I will have to put in a request for the bleachers.
Okay.
For that day. And then also get the sound system from Ashley so that we can also utilize that.
And what day was that?
On the 18th of December.
Okay.
And normally what happens is on that day, the American Legion riders, they load up the wreaths on the trailer and they escort the wreaths from the VFW, and they will escort them into the cemetery. And then that's when we start the events, and they'll be there by 10 o'clock. And it normally lasts, as far as the ceremony itself, lasts up to 45 minutes. And different dignitaries that will be speaking, and then actually posting of the ceremonial wreaths. And then that's after that is done, that's when the public volunteers will go ahead and lay out the wreaths. I'm still hoping that we get more than what we did last year. So I keep putting it out. I'm going to put it back out put it on social media. I want to, I already have the article ready for Laura Swan to put out. I want to include a copy to Char Portier so that she has that, possibly put it in the review. But also want to make sure that everybody knows that the cutoff for the wreath is the Monday after Thanksgiving. Anything received after that day goes toward the next year. So, we've got to get all of
Our orders.
in by, I say by Thanksgiving, because anything after that, they will do the projected ones for year 2022.
Okay.
And so as I said, the request will be to Public Works for the bleachers, and then for the sound system for City Hall, from City Hall. We may, Matt, I'm not sure. I think we used Javi maybe 2 years ago. I don't think we used him this last year, but he was there just in case we needed anything in regards to what comes up. But again, that's going to have to be coming out of the budget for his overtime on that day.
Okay.
And so we'll have to look at that. I do have the card that we were supposed to get and sign to send to the Boy Scouts for putting on the pipes, all the veterans, the 1,200 that they had crimped. Not all of that piping was used, but at least that they did put them on the veterans' graves there. And of course, Pete had already had them done at the Memory Gardens. So I have the card. Do you want me to sign it on behalf of, or would we rather go ahead and have everybody individually sign it and then send it to as we had agreed on at the last meeting?
Well, I think you should just go ahead as our chairperson and sign it on behalf of us.
On behalf of.
Okay, I can go ahead and do that.
And we're talking now, is it going to be the Wreaths Across America? That's going to be both cemeteries?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they will. Yeah,
Okay.
because of COVID this last time, that's why we had a condensed one, the day that we had it there at Bisbee Evergreen. But
Yeah.
because now that it's opened up a little bit more, we're going to have them at both cemeteries, and one's going to follow the other one. And also, if you have anybody inquiring, we do grave specific, so that if somebody, for instance, Pam would talking about the Wood family, she has requested 2 for her family. And so they will be placed on the Wood grave. So if you have anybody that is interested, let them know that if they want one specific, they can sponsor the wreath and it will be placed on that specific. Also, it's not just for veterans that are buried there. This is in honor of and in memory of. So the wreaths are for those that have served, those that are serving, and those that have given the ultimate sacrifice. So, it actually entails all of that so that they know that they'll be remembered. And in speaking with about the wreaths, VFW and American Legion both are definitely on board to give us all the support that we need. So even afterwards, either of the clubs, or actually both of the clubs, have indicated that we could have a get together there for coffee or say donuts afterwards if people wanted to meet. And if it's cold, if they wanted to get out of it, they're not from within Bisbee, but they just wanted to let you guys know that both clubs are willing to help out. They're going to participate in any way, shape, and form that they can. I talked to Rudy today. The VFW is going to be actually the storage area again for the wreaths. So once we get them, when the truck brings them, then they will be stored at the VFW. And so they'll be there. We will or at least I will once meet with them, line up who all the present, or the ones that are going to be there present at the cemetery will be presenting and posting each wreath for the individual branches of service. So if we don't have enough for the 7, that if there's anyone that would like, that is interested, that at least if you can give me their name, and if we don't have enough there for to represent the services, that we can the armed branches, that we can submit their name for it, because that's what happened this last year. We didn't have one, I believe, for the Merchant Marine, and so someone else that was an actual Marine, had been in service for the Marines, said that they would do it. But I know through the organization, they really want someone who actually served in that branch. So I'm not sure if we want to include Snooty. I can't remember his name from Sierra Vista, Fort Huachuca, Buffalo Soldier. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether or not we want to issue an invitation to him to see if
Mr. Hancock?
Yes, Mr. Hancock, that's right. Yeah, if we want to issue an
Invite him.
invitation. Yes,
Sure, that would be nice.
okay. And I think that's all I have for the wreaths across America.
How much are they?
$15 a wreath.
And we need to get that money into you before Thanksgiving.
Yes. If you're going to give it to me, please make the checks out to Wreaths Across America. Or if you want to go online, then you can go ahead and do the sponsorships on our website, because then we're still under the program of 3 for 2. So if you sponsor 3 wreaths, they will go. They will add another one.
Oh,
So
okay.
for every 2 that you sponsor, they're going to add 1. So if you sponsor 5, then 2 extra wreaths will be given to us.
All right.
Okay.
And I have information when and if you're ready.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, so phase 1 is from April of 2021 through March of 2022. It includes 4 1,500 gallon water tanks at a cost of $900 per tank for a total of 3,600.
4 tanks.
4 tanks, 1,100 gallons at a cost of $900 per tank for a total of 3,600. We included 3 rolls of 500-foot each hose at a cost of $150 per roll for a total of 450. 5 connectors at a cost of $10 per connector for a total of $50. 6 to 9 trees, depending upon availability, at a cost of between $40 and $80 for a total not to exceed $900. We also listed in-kind and volunteer support, tree pruning, tree planting, setting up the water system, so we did $5,000 value on the tree pruning from Mile High Enterprises. And we listed approximately $1,200 in value of volunteer time. That's 100 hours of volunteer labor at a rate of $12 per hour. And that was phase 1. Now that essentially came out to $5,000 that we were asking for, and they granted us a bit more than that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So this project needs to be completed by March 2022.
That's correct. We have until March of 2022 to do those things that we listed in the grant.
You
Really
need to
don't.
get with it.
Yeah.
We're behind.
Not too badly, but
Well, yeah, it depends on whether you've tried to have anything shipped lately.
well, the thing is, that's why we don't necessarily want to do shipped. We want to try to see if we can find stuff that's close.
Yeah.
You know-
If we get any of the local companies with the tanks, well, depending on if they have that size, 4 of those in stock. And I mean, if not, we might have to buy from a couple different ones.
Right. And they might be willing to order them too. I'm looking at one right now and I'm not sure where it's coming from, but it's a 1,600 gallon and it's $824.
Yeah, and they
Below the
probably
900.
Yeah.
price them at
The
900.
thing is though, if we get them purchased before March,
Correct. Yeah.
that's okay.
Right, okay.
Does anybody have any objection to approaching Ace
Go.
Hardware? You know,
I
that,
should approach all of them, Tractor Supply, Home Depot, and Lowe's, because it's for the cemetery, a historic place, and they may be willing to cut their prices.
yeah, that's why I meant about Ace there in Bisbee.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I think,
and
yeah.
Home Depot and Lowe's might even carry tanks as well.
They do.
right.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that.
Yeah, they do.
I think the most important thing for us to keep in mind with regards to any of these supplies is that when we wrote the grant, $3,600 is what we said we were going to spend on tanks. Now, if for whatever reason we can justify, okay, maybe they cost more or whatever, and we can only get 3, or even though we asked, we said we were going to get 4, as long as we have the documentation to support the market is what the market is. And so when we go to purchase these things, if suddenly they're more expensive or less expensive and we can buy more with the amount we've allocated, we just have
Right.
to identify that and show that.
Right.
They just want to make sure that, number one, we're spending it for what we said we were going to spend it, and are in fact purchasing these things and getting that phase, in place by March of 2022.
Yeah, as far as I think it's definitely doable purchasing this stuff, and then I think you're gonna have to even get the pad in before that.
Absolutely.
The public works can charge that to the cemetery account.
Yep. So if we meet next Saturday and we kind of pick, the vendors that we want to use, and you can get us the quote based on what we look at the cemetery, if you can get that to us quickly, that we can get the pads put down and get the stuff ordered or, purchased, before Christmas, if we can get it in that respect, and then January comes around and we can get these things put in place
Yeah.
and have at least 1 or 2 volunteer days to get things in the ground, the trees that we've indicated we're going to purchase, and whatever other things that we might, like Linda mentioned, some different projects that she would like to see us do. And then it's always helpful if at the culmination, when we have these things purchased and we've got them in place and we've got the hoses up and we've got the connectors and we've got the trees in the ground, to have a bit of a ceremony where we invite these people that have granted us this money to come.
Yeah.
That all sits well. And if we can do that to March, then when we write the second phase in April, we're off to a really good start with the foundation.
One thing I would try and do when we're asking for quotes and prices for these tanks is delivery. Probably to the city yard, I would think, or to the cemetery, whatever. I mean, if it's to the city yard, we can transport it to the cemetery. But
Right.
most of the people, especially I'm pretty sure the one here in Sierra Vista or Hereford, whatever it is, he would definitely he does delivery.
That rain harvest, Matt?
Yeah, that's one of the ones I was looking at too. The rain harvest.
That was the one I quoted, actually, because Jesus had asked me for samples. Remember, he wanted,
Yeah.
like, where might you get this stuff from? And so I had included rain harvest as the source or a possible source for the tanks. So that's where I got those figures from.
Yeah, the one that I'm looking at right now says Rain Harvest Systems. And it's got the tank marked down from $949 to $824.
All
Great.
right.
And it's a 15
Yeah.
approximately.
It's 16. Yeah, it's
Oh, great.
1600.
It's even better.
Yeah, so I'm not sure where the rain harvest is. That's why I'm looking at it right now. I'll have to look at it some more. Oh, it might not be where we think. But the shipping, that's another thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's local though, and it doesn't weigh over 1,000 pounds, the tank, yeah, they're only about 180 pounds. I mean, if the shipping is unreasonable and it's in Sierra Vista, I have a trailer, I can haul it.
Matt, don't they have doesn't Rain Harvest have a yard? Like if you're going out towards Palominas, it's like between, I want to say it's like near Yaqui out here in Sierra Vista. Don't they have?
Mhm.
So there's one source. And then if
Right.
you come up with 2 other vendors that are perhaps local in Cochise County, that gives us, 3 sources. And Joni, you said there was one, did you say Hereford?
No, I was saying the one was Wilcox, and then I said also what's it called? Tractor Supply.
Okay.
That's another one. And this rain harvest, I'm trying to see if there is one in Sierra Vista. That's what I'm looking at right now. As we're
Yeah,
talking,
right,
as we
that's a
speak.
private company, they're in Sierra Vista, and then you can even look at, like I said, Home Depot, Lowe's,
Right.
Tractor Supply, even Cal Ranch, does stuff like have those.
Right.
Sounds good.
Who's gonna do it?
Public Works.
I can bring, I mean, there's already 1, 2, 3 vendors on the grant.
Right.
But there's one for the tanks, there's one for the hose, there's one for the connectors, and there's one for the trees. So I have 4 vendors already, but I would ask that somebody else comes up with additional vendors. It's not hard
Right.
for vendors, but so Joni's got one in Wilcox for tanks.
Right.
Because there's 2 vendors in Wilcox for tanks. Linda, do you want to come up with a third?
Okay,
So there's
all
3
right.
vendors.
Well, we also have like Matt was saying, Lowe's and Home Depot and Tractor Supply all carry these big tanks,
Okay, there's 3.
and they're all local.
And
And so,
I,
how do we hit these people up? I just
Well,
want,
the easiest way is to go on their website.
Get advice to do what? Get on their website, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you look at the grant, Linda, then you can get what you're looking for. So
Okay,
what size tank you would get a pricing. Since
all right.
don't have to actually go to bid, we just need to know the vendor and the price.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay,
then come together with that.
And the grant has because Jesus again wanted a possible vendor. And so the grant has the vendors that I looked at when I wrote it.
okay.
A Rain Harvest for one, it's got Home Depot, and it's got Lowe's. They're already on.
Right.
Okay. All right.
All righty.
So now, Joni, is it not appropriate for Matt or for you to find vendors for us? Is that something that,
Oh, no, we can do that. We just can't vote on anything.
okay. So since we've got Home Depot for the hose and for the connectors already, and I've got Lowe's for the trees and Rainforest for the watering systems.
Oh, you know who else we were gonna look at trees was that place out in, what's it called?
Douglas.
Yeah, the Douglas place.
So Joni, could you get that information as a vendor for the trees?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
I have someone here that's close by to where we live that we get most of our trees from, and so depending on and he gives a good price.
Who is that, Grace?
Oh, I think it's Parkland Nursery.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
They're
a
great
cool-
deals. And they're already conditioned to Arizona.
Yes,
That's
yes.
the good thing. Yeah. I couldn't think of Parkland. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one we use. So yeah, those are good trees.
Yeah. Most definitely.
All right.
What's next? I hear you, Snooty.
I think that's it.
Sounds like a little mouse.
Yeah, moving right along.
So do we have anything else on those that we're discussing?
I think we're
No.
doing real well. And Grace, I sincerely appreciate you accepting the chairmanship.
Thank
Uh,
you.
we can go to member comments, which,
I think.
Yeah.
any other member comments?
No.
Can we have, and I don't know how, I guess it wouldn't be a discussion, but an FYI comment, maybe?
Sure, what's that?
Okay. Rudy Verdugo, the post commander of the VFW, contacted me today. And he wanted to know what the cemetery or city hall was actually doing for Veterans Day.
Mm.
And I told him, the lead has always been from you guys. We
That's
don't
right.
do anything. I said, unless it's, whatever you do, we support. And then he said, well, he said, I tried getting with the school. He said, they cost too much. He said, I have to put the insurance, and then there's other, he said, conditions that they couldn't meet. So they couldn't have it up there at the high school. So then he said that the VFW, in conjunction with some of the Legion members, that they're going to do a ceremony, I believe he said 8 o'clock at the Lavender Pit. And then they're going to do, and this is how he said it, we're going to do something at, not sure what time, at the cemetery, and then we're going to go to the Memory Gardens. And so I let him know that I would inform all committee people here as to what their plans were. But he did not request anything, say for instance, like bleachers or anything, because I would have told him at that point, unless you have a specific plan, unless you have a designated time, there's no way that we can put in a request on behalf of the city for the VFW for bleachers. And so he said, okay, he said, we'll try to see what they can all come up with. And so I told him, I said, as an FYI, Rudy, I will let all committee members know of what the plans are. So that's what their plans are up for the Veterans Day on next Thursday.
Okay. Now, Grace, traditionally, it's always been those organizations that do that.
Yes,
It's their members that they're on. It's not the cemetery committee.
no,
There we
and
go.
that's what I told him. I said, you
Yeah.
know, we support what you do.
Exactly.
It's not
didn't-
generated through us.
One time they thought we were supposed to bring the flag or something once.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but I think they've got the flag situation under
I
control.
hope so.
The auxiliary members
was-
of the Legion,
You say that one, Grace.
well, Lori Lewis took it under her wing as far as the
Okay.
auxiliary members of the Legion, that they would make sure that that flag is at the Lavender Pit. So they,
That's good.
in case it isn't up there or in good condition.
Yeah.
So. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that's what he had asked and what he had said and what I had told him.
I don't understand why he would even want it at the high school. They're not buried over there.
No, there isn't. Yeah,
Probably because of that new
Boy Scouts, yeah.
memorial. Yeah,
Well,
that might be why.
well, yeah, but that's not,
That's adding too much to it.
no.
Right.
Be held at the cemeteries where the guys are buried.
yeah,
They are.
yeah.
Any other comments? Staff comment? I don't have any comments. Everything sounds good and everything, so. And then I think future items for discussion, we don't have anything as of now.
Mm-mm.
And then if somebody wants to adjourn,
I make a
Make a
motion,
motion.
we adjourn.
I second.
who's second?
I did.
Okay. All right, we are adjourned
me.
at 6:32.
Not bad.
That's good.
Good to see
Okay.
you all.
Uh-huh. You guys too.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Toodles.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Matt.
Yeah, thank you, Matt.
Bye.
Pleased to have you,
Bye,
bud.
Lise.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye.